Hey, thank you for waiting. Did you finish the other questionnaire already? Okay, perfect. You can set it down over there. Yes. Could you also sign this real quick? Great. All right. Um, before you go, there is something else. I I already have the results of your previous screening, and we need to discuss them urgently. Well, it's nothing extremely bad. However, I do unfortunately have a diagnosis for you. Actually, I have a question for you first, if you don't mind. Do you know what a yandere is? I see. That saves me from all the explaining then. Okay, I know that this will sound strange, very strange, but it seems that you're suffering from something called Yandere Craving Syndrome. No, of course it's a real thing. Listen, I understand why you might be confused right now. There's not much research done about it yet. That's why you haven't heard of it before. It's part of the experimental branch, still, and we like to keep things undercover before we can confirm it with a 100% certainty. Especially when it has to do with something this specialized, you know? Anyway, there's no denying that you do have this disorder. The results were very clear. I mean, the stress markers and the attachment deviation patterns, everything that I observed last session. I'm I'm sorry to say, but it all points to the Yandere Craving Syndrome. I I know that this probably wasn't the news that you were expecting, but we cannot really change anything. Luckily for you though, there is treatment, and we'll need to proceed with it the sooner the better. Well, it's not that it is a very dangerous condition, but it it is surely an intense one. I cannot speak directly for you, but based on everything I've seen so far, it seems like you felt some of the symptoms already. For example, in the report I got from the therapist last week, it says that you mentioned constant restlessness and loneliness, and that because of this, you started feeling a sense of needing something, a sense that there is something missing in your life, even when everything seems fine on the surface. What you described here, it's one of the symptoms, one of the main ones, actually. Well, you see, that is exactly the point. That's what I'm talking about. You know, patients often mistake this for other conditions, or they assume that they feel this way simply because of boredom or fatigue, whatever it may be. However, that's not the case. What you're feeling, it's something else entirely. If put into simple words, it's like your mind's way of trying to stabilize itself. That's a good question. You see, the thing is, there isn't really any sort of medication or form of therapy that could help you, unfortunately. Not one that we have discovered already, at least. The Yandere Craving Syndrome, it is a very unique disorder. It's it's quite difficult to explain this to someone who doesn't, you know, specialize in psychiatric conditions, but simply put, this disorder occurs when your brain develops an unusually strong dependency response. What I mean by that is that your nervous system, it, for some reason, requires an anchor. It craves something, or more specifically, someone. Someone who is extremely attentive, and someone who would never leave. Someone who would have insane levels of dedication. And we still don't understand why, but without having this anchor, your body remains in a constant state of low-grade stress. That's that's exactly why you've been feeling worse lately. That's why you're so sluggish and tired all the time. Now, the interesting part about this syndrome is that although it would seem that maybe simply finding a reliable and loyal partner should help, it actually doesn't. Having a regular support system in your life doesn't work. This is still being researched, obviously, but it appears that the only fix for this, the only real fix, is to have an intense woman by your side. That's why it was specifically labeled as the Yandere Craving Syndrome. I know it sounds like nonsense, but the only known way to stop what you're experiencing is to get your girl who'd be crazy about you. That's literally the only way to help you. Look, I I understand your feelings. As I said, I get how this can sound completely nonsensical. You're skeptical, and that's normal. Early stage patients, such as yourself, they often dismiss the diagnosis at first. That's not at all uncommon or strange. The mind, it, it can struggle sometimes when accepting reality. But no matter how you feel right now, your test results do not lie. I'm I'm sorry, but they do not. You do not really have another choice but to come to terms with the truth. You need treatment, and you need it urgently. Yes, as I said, you need a yandere. You need someone crazy. Now, there's two ways that we could do this. We can either assign someone for you, or, well, maybe you can pick someone yourself. The only important thing is that it must be someone safe. It must be someone that you could trust. Someone your mind already recognizes as familiar and permanent. Do you have someone in your life who could qualify? Remember, though, she must be sickly in love with you. Or, at the very least, she has to have potential for it. Simple loyalty, it will not cut it. Hmm. Okay, I see. Well, in this case, I I might have an alternative suggestion for you. You know, once again, normally I would have to refer you to an external candidate pool. However, I think your case is a little bit different. You and the way that you behave and the things that you have told me so far, I think what you need when it comes to treatment is very specific. And, well, I think I'll just be direct with you. I I think that I could be your cure. No, I'm not. I'm I'm serious. I am being completely serious. Haven't you noticed yet? Every time that you're here, every time that I evaluate you, you start feeling better. Your speech becomes more coherent, your breath steadies. If you compare it for example, right now, you're much calmer than you were when you walked in. This none of this is a coincidence. This is a sign that your nervous system is responding to a stabilizing presence. In this case, my presence. And also, I do have to admit that I have had an eye on you for a while now. Ever since you started coming here, I felt something towards you. I felt, I don't know what's the best way to describe it, protective, I guess. I I felt as if I had some sort of responsibility or duty to watch over you, to take care of you. Obviously, as a doctor, I feel this way about all of my patients to some extent. But that's the thing. With you, it was different. It has always been different. It is more than just feeling responsible career wise. And you know, the crazy thing is, I only realized today, when I found out what your diagnosis truly was earlier in the morning, it all became clear to me. I I imagined you being paired up with someone else, with with some girl who is supposedly more obsessed with you than I am. And and I suddenly understood that that would be impossible because I would never let something like that happen. I would never let anyone else have you. I cannot even bear the thought of you belonging to someone else. I am someone you already know. I am someone that you can trust, who you know will not abandon you. And that is precisely what makes me the most viable treatment option for you. Well, that's exactly what it means. You would get with me, and then your symptoms would slowly get better. You know, I want you to understand that when I'm offering you this, I'm not doing it lightly. I am offering this because I care about you, because I know what's best for you. And believe me, I understand fully that this is a bit of a weird dynamic, but I promise you it will work. I will make your life better. I am the piece that your puzzle is currently missing. This this is the only way to help you. I'm I'm saying this as your doctor. I get that. Believe me, I do. And it's totally understandable why you think that way, why you have doubts. But once again, I can assure you that this would be the right treatment and that this is indeed the only way to cure you, to ease your symptoms. I mean, also, it really isn't that bad. You you have to think of it this way. Just an hour ago, you were telling me how you would give anything to feel normal again, to have your life back. And and now I'm giving you a solution. I'm giving you an easy solution at that. You don't have to sacrifice anything. You you just have to be mine. That's it. Yeah, but you see, being unsure, that's normal. That's normal for any relationship, especially when it's just the beginning. I'm certain that you'll get warmed up. Sooner or later, you will. And just so you know, there's nothing to be ashamed of here, in case that is why you're still so doubtful. This is what your brain was designed to do, darling. It was made to seek out a person who would complete you, someone who would ensure that you are loved properly, someone who would quiet down all of that noise. And it just happens to be that I am that someone. I am that person. And I've been that person since the very day you got referred to me. It's just that we didn't realize it at the time. From now on, though, darling, I'll take direct responsibility for your case and for you. You won't need to see the therapist anymore or consult with any other doctors. They they wouldn't be able to give you the right support anyway. So you don't really need them anymore. My help will be sufficient. I will ensure that you receive proper treatment and proper care. Most importantly, proper attachment. your cravings, darling, they'll be satisfied in no time with me. All you need to do is trust me and accept the cure. you you need time. What time? Darling, I told you before. This is urgent. You need to make a decision now. I need to start treating you right away. This, it cannot wait. We need to get you help as fast as possible because otherwise, your condition is gonna get worse, darling. I'm sorry. Come again? You you want to refuse it for now. Well, you know, the thing is, you cannot refuse it, darling. You cannot. What did you just say? Oh. Okay, let me tell you this. If you continue on with this attitude, darling, then you might end up making a huge mistake. I I know what's best for you, okay? Nobody else will ever compare. Do you get that? Either way, darling, you don't have a choice here. You will proceed with the treatment. And it doesn't really matter whether you want it or not. Oh, what? Do you do you actually think that I'm just trying to threaten you? Darling, no. Unfortunately for you, I really did mean everything I just said. You you cannot choose anymore. Literally. Did you did you forget? Think, darling. That paper that I gave you after I returned. The one that you signed without any hesitations, despite not reading a single line on it? Yeah, exactly, darling. That that document, that little useless piece of paper, it's all I needed. With that signature, you gave yourself to me. You signed yourself away. See? I can read it aloud for you if you want. By signing this document, the patient voluntarily authorizes the assigned psychiatric specialist to assume absolute discretion over all treatment related decisions deemed necessary for their well being. Yeah. So, once again, darling, you don't have a say in this. I will choose for you. Don't worry though. Maybe you're a little scared now, but I promise you there will be a day when you'll thank me. You'll thank me for bringing us together. You have to understand this, darling. I am only doing this for you and for your happiness. I'm not doing it for anything else. You need stability. You need forever. And I'm here to give you exactly that. You belong to me.